Hi, in this lesson we're going to talk about setting tabs. What are tabs, you might ask? Well, tabs are a paragraph formatting feature, and they are used to align text and distribute text evenly between margins. Let's take a look. We have a blank page here, and you'll see I have my ruler out. I really like to have the ruler out, especially if I'm working with tabs, because it allows me to see where the tab stops are. If we come over here to the upper left corner of our ruler, you'll see this little symbol. It looks like an L. When I hover over it, it says left tab. Now, if you don't know how to get the ruler out, go to your View tab, and you'll see in this Show section, you have a ruler checkbox. If I uncheck it, my ruler is gone, but I'm going to check it back in so that I can use it. So here's my left tab, and when set, a left tab will align text to that left edge. By default, Word has tabs set at every half of an inch. In fact, if we go here, you see where it says paragraph. The paragraph section in the lower right corner, you see this little button. When I click there, I get the paragraph window, but if I come down and click on the tabs button, it opens up my tab window, and you see the default tab stops every half of an inch. And let's zoom up here a little bit. If I use the tab key on my keyboard, every time I hit it, watch my insertion point, it moves me over 1/2 inch, as you can see from the ruler. If I want to go back, I can use my backspace key or my left arrow key. I can also tab over using my right arrow key as well. Now, what if I don't want my tabs at every half of an inch? Maybe I want to have a tab set at 3/4 of an inch. Well, how do I do that? I'm going to come up to my ruler, and I'm going to go to the 3/4 of an inch mark here, and this is 3/4 of an inch from the margin. And I'm going to get my mouse pointer right there and click. And you see the little L? That lets me know that it put that left tab that we see here on the left right there. And if I use my tab key now, my insertion point goes right to it. Now, I can change which tab I use. We have different tabs besides the left tab. If I come over here and I click on the little left tab symbol one time, you see the symbol changes, and now it is a center tab. And that will align text centered on that tab. If I click again, it now changes to a right tab. Click again, one of my favorites, the decimal tab. Click again, and I get a bar tab. Now, if I click again, it's going to give me the first line indent symbol. Click again, it'll give me the hanging indent symbol, and I can go back one more time and get my left tab. So now, let's go ahead, let's tab over, and let's add in some text. I'm going to continue typing. I'm going to type in enough text so that it gives me a full paragraph. So hang in there, and I'll be right back. Okay, and I'm back. And you see I have a full paragraph. And if I move my insertion point into the subsequent lines, you notice that my left tab is still there. And if I want to tab over, now when I tab, Word assumes that I want this tab to be the first line indent, so it's going to continue to line up these left edges like that. But the tab is still there. And actually, let me undo this. If I come down and I start another paragraph, you see that the tab stop is still there, and I can still tab over and begin to type. Now, we open up an already existing document, and you'll see there's no tab stop here. The reason we were able to get that tab stop in every paragraph that we set was because we set it before we began typing. If you have a document like this that's already created, That's not going to be the case. I'm going to go here to my first paragraph, and I'm going to set tab stop at 3/4 of an inch. And I can tab over to do that. And if I come down into the next lines of that paragraph, we still see that tab stop. But if I come down to the next paragraph, that tab isn't there, and it's not going to be in any of these other paragraphs. The only reason we saw it in that every paragraph in that last document was because we set it before we began typing. So that's something you need to be aware of if you want to have consistency in your tab stops. All right, let's go ahead and let's take a look at some other tab stops. We're going to use some of the other ones. I'm going to switch from the left tab to the center tab, and I'm going to click, let's just set this one at 3 inches in from the margin. There's my center tab, and I'm going to tab over to it, and I'm going to start typing. And you'll notice that it did exactly what I expected. It centered that text on that tab. And if I enter and tab over again, I can do the same thing, just like that. So you can see how useful the center tab can be. Let's go ahead and let's delete that. And let's get rid of this center tab. How do we get rid of it? Well, there's a couple of ways. I can go ahead and move my mouse up here to the ruler, right onto that center tab, hold down my left mouse button, and drag down, as if I'm pulling it off of the ruler. I'm going to set it again, and I'm going to go to the tabs window, and you see I have it here. I can clear that tab by hitting the clear button. Now, let's set another tab. Let's go ahead and set the right tab. I'm going to set the right tab here. Oh, we have to change it first. There we go. We've got our right tab, and I'm going to set it here 1/2 inch in from my right margin. And I'm going to tab over to it and begin to type. And you'll see that my text moves from that right tab to the left, just like that. And again, if I click enter to create a new paragraph, I can begin to do the same thing, bringing that tab down. All right, let's go ahead, let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of this tab. And let's go to the next one. And our next one is going to be our decimal tab. Now, the decimal tab I really like. It's one of my favorites. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to set that decimal tab at 1 inch. I'm going to tab over to it. And we will add a dollar amount with decimals. And notice that the decimals are lining up at that decimal tab. Like I said, this is one of my favorites. This is really, really nice. And let's get rid of that. Now, the last one, the bar tab. And I'm going to set that here at 1 inch as well. And you'll see it adds a bar, a horizontal line. And let me tab over to it and type. And what this does is it adds that horizontal line to the left edge of the text. I think that this is used in some legal cases, in some legal documents, but if you need it, there it is. And let's go ahead and let's delete that. Now, the last thing I want to show you is we're going to go ahead and take a look at those leader lines. First thing I want to do, though, is set a right tab here, 1/2 inch from my right margin. We're going to go up to the paragraph window and click on tabs for the tab window. I'm going to clear any tabs that I have set. And you see it cleared out that right margin, so that wasn't what I wanted. We're going to create that again, but I wanted to show you again how to delete those. And we're going to select a leader line. In a leader line, we have three types: dotted, dashed, and solid. We're going to create a dotted leader line. Click OK. I will type in a name, hit tab, and you see that it gave me that leader line. And now I can type over here. And because I added the right tab, it's going to put that text there from right to left on that line. Let's go ahead, let's do it again. Let's change our leader line. This time we'll change it to a dashed line. Hit tab. And now we see the dashed line. And let's do one more. Set that solid line. And now you know a little bit more about tabs, setting tab stops, clearing them, the different types of tabs, and leader lines. That's it for this lesson. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.